So yesterday we talked about pennies, nickels, and dimes. And so we're just going to review that really quickly. We have a penny. Whoop, and that was worth how much? 1. So remember, I swipe my finger under and I just say 1. Next, we have a nickel, and a nickel is worth 5 cents, and that is an imaginary touch point. So whenever I see one touch point, I go ahead and I touch and I count by 5. So 5. That's worth 5 cents. And next I have my dime, and that has 2 imaginary touch points. So I imagine 5, 10. Now today we're going to go ahead and we are going to practice counting money, but only using these 3 different types of coins. So one thing that I always do is I group my coins according to the largest amount to the least amount. So if I'm doing that, then I would have my dimes, then my nickels, and finally my pennies. So we'll go ahead and use these as a work mat just to show you what I mean. If I was given, I'm just pulling a random amount, a line of coins, I want to go ahead and group them in the like coins. So my pennies will go over here on my penny, my dimes will go over here, and my nickels will go here on my nickel. So let's go ahead and start by putting them back down here in a line according to their group. And I'm going to use my marker to go ahead and mark how much each is worth. So this first one is 10 cents, so I can write 10. If I add on to 10 another 10, I could use the touch points if I wanted, 10, 15, 20, or I could just say 10, 20. I then have that imaginary touch point for my nickel, so 10, 20, 25. I go to the next nickel, that would make it 30, 31, 32. So I have 32 cents. And I could write that with my cent, I'm sorry, whoop, wrong side, my cent there, or I could put 32 with a 0 and a decimal in front with my dollar sign. All right, let's do another example. So I'll go ahead and clear my board. And I'm grabbing an amount, and they're not grouped according to their coins. So we need to go ahead and do that. We have a nickel, nickel, dime, penny, penny, nickel, nickel. All right. So now that I have them grouped from biggest to, or from greatest to least, I'm going to go ahead and put them down here in a line so I can work with them and write what they're worth underneath. All right. First, I have a dime that's worth 10, and I have a nickel. So 10, 15. I have another nickel, 10, 15, 20. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31. How about that? I picked the same amount again. So 32 cents can be written again in 2 different ways. All right. But if you notice, the coins weren't the same coins there. So there's many ways to make different amounts. So we'll get to that later on when we get closer to $1. All right. So what I want you to work on when you're counting the money today is I want you to put your coins according to the greatest amount to the least amount. So you'll start with your dimes. If you don't have dimes, then you'll start with your nickels and go from there. All right.